You're watching Sky Sports.
Hello and welcome to the BMI Baby Elite Ice Hockey League here on Sky Sports, where the second place Sheffield Steelers are playing host to the league leaders, Coventry Blaze. Hello folks. Well, every time we've mentioned the Coventry Blaze this season, it's been as the league leaders, the convincing league leaders. Until now, perhaps, have the Sheffield Steelers made this league title challenge into a two-horse race with a half dozen games to go. Alongside of me, Dave Sims. Dave, did you miss me?
I did miss you.
Should I just go? Can it be the Dave Sims Hockey Show?
It probably could be, but you know what? I don't want to do that to you. No, of course we missed you, Nick. But what a great game for you to come back game. Huge game. I don't think it gets a lot bigger, first versus second. And the Sheffield Steelers, could they tonight beat the Blaze and then really make a title race out of it? I think they have to beat Coventry to make it a title race. Quickly,
the Sheffield Steelers out without Jason Hewitt, but more importantly, the Coventry Blaze have Jonathan Weaver back.
Have Coventry rushed Jonathan Weaver back, though? He broke a bone in his foot 4.5 weeks ago. He's back playing here again tonight. Is that too soon? We'll only find out in the next 60 minutes, won't we?
He's a tough boy. He'll be ready.
Okay.
Let's have a look at some of the results from the weekend. Dave, talk us through these ones on Saturday and Sunday.
Well, I think the Sheffield Steelers would have been hoping that the Nottingham Panthers beat the Coventry Blaze. They didn't. They got the backsides kicked a little bit by the Blaze. Basingstoke and Edinburgh, though, a 3-point game. Edinburgh winning in overtime. Go to Sunday, though, and the surprise result, and probably the reason we're here tonight, Nick, is that Coventry went down to the Edinburgh Capitals, Colin Hemingway with a brace.
And, of course, on Tuesday, Nottingham at home beat the Newcastle Vipers 6-2. Let's have a look at the league table right now. And again, Dave, you know, Coventry up there with 74 points, but the Sheffield Steelers have made it tight. But more importantly, I suppose the playoff positions are being solidified.
Well, they are. There are 10 teams in the BMI Baby Elite League, Nick, but there's only 4 with anything to play for. Coventry and Sheffield at the top, and then the Basingstoke Bison and the Edinburgh Capitals fighting for that 8th place. And look at it, Edinburgh are now above the Bison. What a great turn of results for them.
Let's have a look at the games remaining for both teams. Here are Coventry, and look at these ones. And to me, it's Basingstoke. These are the games that the Coventry Blaze have got to watch out for.
Well, you know what? I honestly think Paul Thompson will be happy with that run in, Nick. You know, Manchester, Belfast, Newcastle, they're at home for a lot of those games. Yes, Basingstoke are playing for something, and if the Bison, certainly in Basingstoke, are still playing, still
Edinburgh can do to Coventry, can the Bison do it too?
Exactly. You know? If Basingstoke are still in that playoff hunt, that's going to be a difficult game. That's probably the most difficult one that they've got, though.
Let's have a look at Sheffield's remaining game. Of course, they've played one game more, and you know, that one to me, that Nottingham at home, you want to see Nottingham almost want to kind of just throw a little spur in it for the Sheffield Steelers.
Well, of course the Nottingham Panthers are going to be trying to overturn the Sheffield Steelers. Interesting thing there, just one road game left for the Sheffield Steelers in Cardiff. All their other games are at the Sheffield Arena. That's a big advantage for Sheffield.
Dave, quickly, I mean, we've seen both teams in the tunnel now, and for me, you know, Paul Thompson's always been very accommodating. Tonight, he's really got the blinkers on. He's very, very, you know, he's really looking to this game. It's so important for him.
He blanked you, didn't he?
He did. He didn't say hi to me.
Exactly. 15 years it's taken him to tell you he doesn't like you. And look what happens. You know what? I know, as you know, I know Paul really well. Paul's in the zone right now. So's Dave Matzos. So are all the players of both these teams. They were both here early today. 2.5 hours before face-off, the Coventry Blaze were here. You know, they were ready.
Okay, well, early on you caught up with Paul Thompson and Dave Matzos. Here's what they have to say.
Matty, every time we speak to you, we seem to say biggest game of the year, but it's the biggest game of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, we're running out of games now, and, you know, a 4-point game tonight, you know, we win this and we're 2 points behind, and, you know, bear in mind we still got to run a perfect record to the end of the season with some tough games, but, you know, certainly it's going to keep us in the mix of it and the pressure on Coventry, so must 2 points for us.
Sheffield are one team that can say, hey, we can beat the Coventry Blaze at home. 3 games you've played against them this year, and you haven't been on the losing side any time.
Yeah, you know what? They're just they're good hockey club, and the games that we played against them and beat them, and we played sound. Virtually a perfect game. And I'm talking about turning pucks over. We're limited getting pucks deep, making safe plays. In games like this, it's 60 minutes. It's a marathon of simple hockey, minimizing your mistakes. A team that does that is normally the team that's going to come out with the 2 points, and we've been fortunate in the home games of doing that, and we've had success. So I mean, it's going to be the same game plan tonight, and this game isn't won and lost in the first 5 minutes or the last 5 minutes. It's got to be 60 minutes of sound hockey.
Paul, another huge game, but you've got Jonathan Weaver back in your lineup tonight.
I think a huge game underestimates it, Dave, really. I mean, yeah, and having Weaver back in the lineup, he's been missing for 4.5 weeks now, about 11 games. So, but the boys have stuck in and done a great job without him. But, he's such a key guy for us all over the ice that it's great to have him back.
Sheffield are one team that have played well against you, certainly in their own building. They've had good success against you. Why is that?
Because they're a good team, Dave. They're a good team. They've got good quality. They've just added Tessier, which gives them a little bit more offensive punch than they had, when they had Cornish on the roster. And this isn't an easy place to come. It never has been. It never has been an easy place to come. But, we've like I say, this is our biggest game of the season right now. And Sheffield have won 14 out of the last 15 to claw themselves straight back into the, the hunt for the championships. But it's time that we try to close the door tonight.
Both head coaches there, and now it's on to our ones to watch. And no surprises, Ashley Tate, he's had a barren spell, but all of a sudden 8 points from the weekend, and this guy's back on form. 2 massive games, and he goes to Belfast and gets 5 assists. He then comes back to the Sheffield Arena and scores a hat-trick. How important is this guy to the Sheffield Steelers? Well, I think he's the heartbeat of the Sheffield Steelers. He came in as a winner, as a proven winner. He was one of the players David Matsas brought to Sheffield to try and win the Sheffield Steelers a championship. He knows what it takes to win. He lifted the league championship trophy last year with Coventry. 5 trophies in his spell with the Coventry Blaze. You don't find too many resumes, Nick, with that kind of credentials on it. Great experience, a great vision. Very much so. Great hockey player. Now, for the Coventry Blaze, and we've talked about this guy all year. He's hit the 100 points already this season. Probably the most prolific goal scorer in the league. Not a problem. Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I like Adam Calder. Always have done. He's nasty. He's miserable. He's grumpy. He's a guy who'll go to the net. He'll run his grandmother over. He's so strong on his strong side as well. He leads by example, and he is the guy that Paul Thompson will look to as the go-to guy. Many times this year, Paul has said to us that, if it wasn't for Calder, the Blaze haven't been scoring. Calder's the key to the Coventry Blaze offensively, anyway. Okay, well, Dave, same old, same old. I'm going to give it to you. Give me a prediction here, the Coventry Blaze, Sheffield Steelers. Well, Sheffield haven't lost for a long time. They've won 14 of the last 15. We want the title race to continue. I'm taking the Steelers to win this. Did you notice he just said we, folks? I don't know about that. Join us after the break for the first period. First period action just about to get underway between the second place Sheffield Steelers and the league leaders Coventry Blaze. And do they believe, eh? Well, the faithful at the Sheffield Arena, they believe. Banners all over this building and in the media in the days leading up to this game. Sheffield Steelers coach David Matsas saying that they really believe that they were in a title challenge and a title race. And you can see the banners everywhere around here. All neutral fans around the league, I suppose, want to believe a little bit with the Sheffield Steelers. Make things a little interesting heading in to the final stretch. Have a look at the Coventry Blaze team there, Dave. We've seen them all season long. And it's the same old faces that are going to be the big players. Trevor Koenig has to be strong in goal. Neil Martin, he's going to be good. We know that. Jonathan Weaver, how is the foot? Is he being rushed back too soon? When you look up front again, we had the one to watch, Adam Calder, but we're looking for secondary scoring. Barry Moore playing up on one of the big lines right now. Russell Cowley, we saw him score a huge goal against the Panthers last week. Big nights for them all. Paul Thompson has told us he'll be starting with Carlson in between Calder and Moore, with Martin and Timmins on the point, and Trevor Koenig guarding the pipes. Sheffield Steelers exactly the same, Nick. The big players have to come to the fore tonight. That means Jordan Lehman has to be strong. Steve Munn has to lead his defence. Rod Sarich has to be his inspirational best, whilst up front, Sheffield have more 20-goal scorers than any other team in the league. Ryan Finnerty will add the grit and guile, while Dan Tessier, probably the magic, especially on special teams. Tessier, a key on the power play. And Shepherd will be between Talbot and Legui with Munn and Sarich on the point, with Jody Lehman guarding the 2-4. And I'm just going to borrow a line from you, pitter patter. Let's get at her.
We will indeed. Michael Hicks, the man in charge. There's Jody Lehman.
2.41 GA, and it's not quite Trevor Koning's 2.13, but two of the great ones in the league.
I remember, Nick, when any goalie that got over 90% was phenomenal. Now you're into 91s, 92s, 93s even. Here's a man with a tough job tonight, Michael Hicks. I will say what I say every night to all the referees: let the players decide the outcome of this game. Don't referee the scoreboard, just let the players decide. If it's there to be called, call it. But just let the players decide. Doesn't get any bigger than this, folks. First versus second. Coventry Blaze with early puck possession, wearing their blue uniforms, whilst the Sheffield Steelers in their home kit of white, orange and a tad of teal. And it's the Sheffield Steelers defenseman Sarich who'll pick up on a loose puck first. Tries to throw it down the middle. Carlson just couldn't quite intercept, and it's a little bit messy in the opening stages. Adam Calder will cut to the inside. Offside not called. Yes, it was called late by the linesman as Jody Lehman makes his first save of the night. There's Dan Carlson.
Yeah. And of course, Casey Timmins coming out on the point for the Coventry Blaze, and that's why we've said he's been so valuable to Coach Paul Thompson, because he's one of those utility guys that'll give you 100% whether he's driving up and down the wing or playing on the point. So valuable to a team in search for a league title.
Without a shadow of a doubt. First time in 12 games that Paul Thompson has been able to use 5 defensemen. He's got Weaver out there at the moment, playing his first game back since the broken foot injury sustained in Belfast. Tessier going close as Phillips found him. Phillips is going to have a second bite of the cherry. Hammers one past Koenig's glove stick side. Shot came from the outside from Dejanay, but now it's a turn of the Coventry Blaze to break. And it was Curtis Uppy who chips it into the corner. Lehman leaves it alone as Dejanay connects.
Quick shift by Jonathan Weaver as well. He was on and off the ice.
And I'm sure it's going to have to be, because I don't care how hard you work riding the bike, playing the game is a completely different.
And those ingrown toenails hurt.
Cowley takes it around the back of Dejanay, who finishes with a hit. Manzano makes a simple play to Tessier, who gives it him straight back. Manzano goes east to west, finds Dejanay. Tate is just in front, but he goes back to Tessier, and the Steelers 26 hammers behind the goal of Koenig. Koenig fakes on his forehand, goes back on his backhand, loses a little bit of balance. Sarich manages to keep it in and takes a shot, knowing that Koenig was just out of position. And it'll be interesting, Nick, to look at the Sheffield Steelers lines and see how they cope. 8 forwards for the Steelers tonight. That basically means there's going to be some double shifting. Maybe the right wingers go in every second shift, or the left wingers go in every second shift. We'll wait and see if we can see how that's going. Here's the best skater in the league. We say that every time we see him, Neil Martin. And right now, you have to say, Nick, not a serious chance in the first 2 minutes.
Not a serious chance, but Dave, look how these guys are stringing their passes together. It's just, you know, the two of the best teams in the league to watch, and that's why we like watching them, and that's why the Elite League is so great. Because, you know, especially at this high level, how you string your passes together, it's got to go tape to tape. And I'll tell you what, folks, there's not 2 teams in the league that do it better than the Sheffield Steelers and the Coventry Blaze.
Are these the 2 best skating teams? I think they are, aren't they?
Definitely the 2 best skating, but they also, you got to say that the hockey heads that they got on their shoulders are amongst the best as well. And like I say, it's how they move the puck and how they make the puck work for them, and that's a sign of a great team.
Probably the most natural goal scorer in the Elite League. Perhaps alongside Ed Courtney is Adam Calder. 100 points. Tate tries to just get the bounce on James Pease, his former teammate from last year. Remember, Ashley Tate was the captain of this Coventry Blaze team last season, and now an assistant captain on the Sheffield Steelers team. Penalty coming in on the Coventry Blaze. As soon as the Coventry team touch the puck, Tate with puck possession. Sheffield get an extra attack run. Munn with the shot. Goes through traffic, and Sheffield keep hold of possession. They can with Tessier. Tessier gives it back to Joe Talbot. Talbot back to Tessier. Quick hands Tessier. Shot comes in from Dejanay. Loose puck out front, and it looks like it's a goal, but it's waved off by Michael Hicks. A Coventry Blaze player touched the puck. That, of course, signalled the penalty.
I think it'll be waved off because of the save that Trevor Koenig made. But
I think it hit him in the mask. Michael Hicks has just put his face to his hand to his face, saying hit you in the mask.
I think the penalty coming up against Moore here, against the Coventry Blaze, coming across the blue line, and his stick get caught up there in Ashley Tate. You can see he lets it go, but you know, he's going to get him for actually making contact across the thighs of Ashley Tate with his stick. And then we can see how the Sheffield Steelers do a good job. They keep nice and composed, move the puck around, get the shot in from the point. They had a couple of those. Koenig with a save. That's why it gets blown down. But look at the boys just buzzing around the net, looking to try and bang it in. And we'll see the first power play opportunity of the night.
So Barry Moore, Nick, gets a 2-minute penalty. Sheffield Steelers on power play time. First power play of the night goes the way of David Matzos' men. Here is Desjardins, who's got the big heavy shot, goes out to Tessier, who kind of controls things on the power play. Desjardins gets the second shot, intercepted by Russ Cowley, and now the two of those, Desjardins and Cowley, in a foot race. That Desjardins wins. Tessier, inch perfect pass to Doug Shepherd. Shepherd didn't know whether to shoot or just make a play. He sets up, and Shepherd again with the puck, best possession. Martin robs Finnerty and will come out with an easy out and chip all the way down behind the goal of Jody Lehman. Steelers fans trying to get behind their team just in front of Nick and I. Tessier is looking for an option. Talbot is that man. Hits the red line and bangs in. Goes past Koenig, where it's collected by Tate. Paul Thompson obviously confident with Jonathan Weaver's fitness because he's out there on the kill. Tessier fakes the shot. Doesn't shoot enough for me, Dan Tessier. And Saric makes a little bit of a pig's ear of that one, but quickly gets back and makes a gorgeous play. Turns nothing into something. Now Le Guy hammers one and scores on the power play. Jeff Le Guy scores for the Sheffield Steelers. They believe, Le Guy believes, and the Sheffield Steelers lead the Blaze with a power play goal by 1-0.
They've 3 minutes and 58 seconds into the game, and yes, the Sheffield Steelers have had that power play opportunity, but I got to stress, both of these teams looking extremely composed. And yes, the Sheffield Steelers on the power play, but what confidence Le Guy has here. Look at the giveaway on the point, and then they just regroup. Everyone, you know, like I say, up until this point, I haven't seen two teams come out so composed. And Le Guy, he's got a guy driving to the net, and so confident. Do you know what? I'm going to let it rip from this high slot. He beats Koenig. He's got a little bit of a guy in front of that, but look, he's got Talbot down low as well. But you know, such confidence by the Sheffield Steelers, you know, to let it go from there. And so far, a very entertaining first 4 minutes.
And I'm sure for the neutral, Nick, and you are the neutral, probably the only one in the building, that's what the game needed, a goal early doors. And the Sheffield Steelers were the team that got it. What a finish, but what a giveaway by the Sheffield Steelers now to Calder, who gets it out to Barry Moore, who takes a shot, turned away by Jody Lehman. Timmins has to come all the way back, and icing will be called by linesman Paul Staniforth.
And as a neutral, Dave, I've got to say, like this, you know, the Sheffield Steelers, how they've come in, you know, they know as a unit how important this game is in their search for the league title. But they have come out very, very composed, very calm, very cool. And if they can keep going like this for the rest of the game, you know, they're going to be looking really, really steady to push Coventry all the way for this league title.
But Coventry Blaze coming a little more now at the Sheffield Steelers after 6 minutes has expired. Martin's waiting. Danny Stewart cuts to his right. Comes out to Soderstrom, who bangs one off the boards. Soderstrom, who's against the Nottingham Panthers, was just after every other Swede. He won't find a Swede on the Sheffield Steelers team. Here's Watkins as Tate finishes. Finnerty has a little bit of time. Watkins comes in, and Finnerty and Tate are making a pig's ear of this at the moment, and they've given the puck away to Adam Calder, who just tries to get one to the net, and Lehman makes a stop, and then the second stop as Watkins came in. And Jody Lehman will quite rightly be firstly disappointed with Manzano on the bad play, and then Finnerty and Tate were just hot potato, wasn't it?
You know what, with Finnerty in the corner, you see him, he takes the puck here, and well, there's the save, but earlier on, Finnerty in the corner, and, you know, Dave, in your own zone, you can't be lazy on the puck. You got to be cool and calm-headed, and like I said, the Sheffield Steelers are.
Second unit out at the moment for the Blazers. Shepherd tries to chip through the neutral zone. Soderstrom gets hit by Talbot. Out for Manzano, picks up by Le Guy, the goal scorer, with the long pass. Can't find Shepherd, intercepted instead by Huppy. And a few giveaways in the neutral zone as Shepherd gets it down the left-hand side to the goal scorer, Le Guy. Le Guy fires it off the back of the net. Talbot comes in, Soderstrom collects, and the Swede will just have an easy out to Russ Cowley. Cowley has got This man, Danny Stewart, burst into the net, cuts inside on a backhand. Lehman makes the save. Stewart at the legs over Ian Manzano.
I think Michael Hicks is going to call a penalty on the play as well as the...
It's Ian Manzano on the penalty, Nick. And Manzano was just beat for speed there.
Here we go. You can see the speed of Stewart going around Manzano. Manzano taking a little hack and a whack at his ankle. And, you know, these, Dave, again, by the letter of the law, that's a slash. And you got to call it. But really, in terms of what it does and how it influences the play, you know...
There was a couple of penalties last week, Nick, that you missed, and I said they weren't a penalty in figure skating, and that wasn't a penalty in figure skating. By the letter of the law, that was a penalty, Dave. You can't slash a guy across the ankle. But, I'm sorry,
like I say, I mean, you always want to be able to make contact with your stick, let a player know that he's there. And, you know, Michael Hicks is he's going to play it by the letter of the law in this game and get these teams playing hockey.
You know what, Nick?
So
I look down on the ice, and I see 12 men. I don't see any of them wearing pink. I don't see any of them in tutus, right?
Yeah,
I see 12 men.
Yoga, that's not, you know. Call the game, buddy.
Okay, sorry, Nick. Cloutier on the power play, and let's say it is the most impressive power play in the Be My Baby Elite League. It belongs to the Coventry Blaze, and it's got Weaver back on it. Cloutier can't quite control. Calder intercepted. Great work there by Rod Sarich, and Tessier with the clearance all the way down to Koenig. Sheffield take the opportunity of changing their two forwards with Finnerty and Ashley Tate coming on as Calder hits the blue line, chips it down low to Coulson. Coulson tries to get it across to Curtis Huppy. Man out in front is Weaver, in fact. Instead comes back to Coulson, who's got Calder alongside him. Instead sags back low. Out to Huppy. Huppy, well, the puck just bobbled on Curtis Huppy, but Coventry moved the puck so well on the power play. Weaver, quick hands, gets it back out to Coulson. Huppy drives the net. Coulson tries to find Huppy and Calder. It goes to Huppy, now to Calder. Dejanay looked like he got him covered, but Cloutier on the backhand. Dejanay did a pretty good job there, I think, on Calder, knocking him to the ice, and there's going to be an out for Warren Tate. There is, to his brother Ashley Tate, who hits the red line and chips down low. And the first 1 minute has expired on this 2-minute power play to the Coventry Blaze. What's a power play? We've been telling you since September. 5 Coventry Blaze players against 4 Sheffield Steelers. And here is a great play by that 5th player. It was Danny Stewart who tried to find the spare man, who was Adam Calder. Danny Stewart looks like a man on a mission tonight, doesn't he? Skating very, very well indeed. Here's Barry Moore. Gets the puck out to the right-hand side. It is Stewart, the 2nd unit for the Coventry Blaze on their power play. Calder stays on it. Here's Martin, tries to get one to the net. Intercepted. Cowley couldn't get it closer. Here's Calder again, tries to make the soft pass. Back out to Calder, takes a second shot. Lehman doesn't know where it is. He's lying on his belly with his face pointing towards the goal. Second chance. Barry Moore takes a shot. Big stop by Jody Lehman. Huge stop, Lehman. Manzano gets taken down. Barry Moore, rink wide, Steelers at full strength, but there's still Stewart out in front, but the Steelers manage to clear, and Ian Manzano will hit the red line, chip it in, and his Steelers team will go for a line change.
You got to say the Coventry Blaze again, even their 2nd unit on the ice, the way they move the puck on the power play, it's such a treat to watch, Dave. And you know, the Sheffield Steelers got to make sure they stay out of the box to make sure that that #1 power play unit in the league doesn't capitalize.
Offside call by linesman Marco Conan. Jody Lehman made a couple of stonking stops there.
You know, the thing about Jody Lehman, it's so great, is that, you know, you can get these goalies, I suppose down at the other end, Trevor Koenig can look really, really good making a save. Jody Lehman, you know, he's so effective, but he's also so unorthodox in the way that he makes a save. He's so athletic.
People who know better than me, people like Dave Matzer, say any good goalie is when they're square onto the puck. And Jody looks square onto the puck right now. So does Koenig. Those goalies always try, and he makes it so hard for forwards to pick a spot, doesn't he?
He's really, really worked hard at his movement in his crease. But Dave, for me, any good goalie is a goalie that stops the pucks from going over the goal line.
They got to find a way, haven't they? And some goalies just have an ability to find a way. Manzano gets hit by Cook as the 3rd unit is out for the Coventry Blaze. And it will be interesting to see if Coventry just try and emphasise the point that Sheffield have only the 8 forwards, have got to double shift some players tonight, and whether Coventry try and get that 3rd unit out a little more often. Soderstrom gets it down the right-hand side. Archer goes a-chasing. Rod Sarich pulls a Torval and Dean move. When he does things like that, he is just so outstanding. Here's a chance for Finnerty. He pulls his own Torval and Dean move. and went round Soderstrom. Loose puck comes out to Ashley Tate. He fires it. His brother Warren comes in on a loose puck. Sheffield with a couple of turnovers, getting some momentum, getting some energy right now. And the Coventry Blaze battling down low with Cloutier. Shot from the outside comes in. Koenig covers, and Trinity's on top of him like a shot, giving Koenig no option of an out.
Dave, this is probably one of the most pivotal games that we've had on Sky so far this year. And what really, I just can't, you can't stress it. I mean, sitting there watching at home on TV. But here in the arena, you can see these guys. No one's panicking. Everyone's got their head up. They're always looking for their options, and they've always got 2 or 3 options. And to me, for this 12 minutes, it's the best 12 minutes of hockey that I've seen all season.
And there's Tommy Watkins. We saw him in action, fight in action, of course, last week against Kevin Bergin of the Nottingham Panthers. And in fact, actually 3 days later, when Coventry were back in Nottingham, Bergin and Watkins went again inside about 15 seconds.
What happened?
Didn't go see. Calder lays Bergin out. Watkins jumps in, and Bergin doesn't know if it's Christmas or breakfast, and Watkins does a pretty good job.
I was on holiday, remember?
You were on holiday. You should have watched it. It was a good show.
Was it?
Yeah. I was marvelous.
I heard you were great. I heard you can actually interview yourself.
That's easy. It's my favourite subject. Just over 5 minutes to go, folks. Randy Desjardins on the puck for the Sheffield Steelers. Coventry play the trap with Stewart forcing. Archer goes down low now, and he's being run by Finity. Desjardins still out there, so is Warren Tate. But it's the Coventry Blaze that break down the left-hand side, then throw the puck out to the right-hand side where Martin will go and chase it. Martin's a great skater, but not even he could get there ahead of Munn, who just hammers in. Koenig makes the first stop and feeds out to Neil Martin, intercepted by Tessier. Martin and Tessier in a foot race. Tessier just gets there first, but can't keep puck possession. Tessier's teammate can, though. And Sheffield having a good moment or two just getting the puck deep inside the Coventry Players' defensive zone. But since they've scored, they haven't really had those quality chances in front of Koenig. Koenig hasn't really been troubled. Lehman's been the busier of the 2 goalies, despite the Blaze trailing by 1-0. Coventry an easy out as they chip down the left-hand side, collected by Mark Thomas, and the Stockport-born defenseman gets it out to Sarich, cross-ice dump, and Tate will go chasing. Tate gets there first. Cowley comes in and helps it on its way, but the puck is with Jonathan Phillips. Phillips tried to rim it back to Tate. No holding penalty called by Michael Hicks, despite a couple of thousand Steelers fans calling for it. Weaver has found on it. Chance out in front. Jonathan Phillips. Big stop by Koenig. And what we saw from Sarich with the broken stick, Weaver did with the good one. And Phillips almost capitalised to put the Steelers 2 ahead. Big hit again from Sarich, who is certainly the most physical player on the ice right now. Here's Jonathan Phillips, the Steelers captain, cuts inside, poke check, comes out to Ashley Tate. Tate just needed a second or 2 on it. Penalty's going to be on the clock, and the Coventry Blaze are going to go killing penalty again, but not until they've touched the puck. Sarich floats one at the net. Koenig gets it, punched to the back of the head by Timmins on Finity. A little bit of afters, it was Tessier sewing up Finity. But a big chance there for Jonathan Phillips. Koenig to the rescue.
Dave, you were talking that the Sheffield Steelers haven't had a lot of scoring opportunities. I mean, you can see here there are a couple, because I think that the way that Dave Matzos is approaching this game, you know, he's down on his forwards and he's rotating guys, so you never get that time for 3 guys to actually look and link together. So they're actually out there. I think they're performing a game plan where they want to try and keep things nice and simple. Pass the puck, get the nice shots from outside, do everything right, but don't make any mistakes.
So Legui versus Dan Carlson for puck possession, and Carlson wins it. A key when killing a penalty. Coventry tripped down, and it'll be collected by Sarich, the man who made that first goal on the power play. And this guy can move the puck. Just watch this for skating. Hits the red line, takes a long shot. Koenig's just dropped his stick, but fortunately for him, one of his defensemen got to it first. That man was Soderstrom. Long out, short-handed chance, Adam Calder. Tessier's the defenseman, Carlson's the free man. Calder takes a shot, and Calder scores short-handed. He faked the pass to Dan Carlson, and then just ripped one top shelf. Short-handed Adam Calder shoots and scores with less than 3 minutes remaining first period. It's tied at 1.
Tell you what, man, I am absolutely speechless of watching this guy this season. You know, we say how good he is on his strong side, and he comes in on his weak side here where he can open up his blade to the goalie and to the goal. And folks, it does not get any. That is an NHL shot. Look at this. You got Jody Lehman in net. He's playing the shot. He knows exactly where he's putting it, and it doesn't get any better than that, folks. 1-1.
Water bottle up in the air. Every forward loves to see that. Paul Thompson will be a happy man Hey, folks, this game's between the two best teams in the league, first versus second, and there's a hair's breadth between them in this first period so far. We've seen two great goals tonight already. Le Gui's bullet, followed by a short-handed bullet from Calder. Here's Talbot to Le Gui, gets it back out to the point where Sarich is waiting for it. Tate has made himself available, comes into the middle, gives it back to Sarich. Sarich fires one, got deflected, comes back to Ashley Tate. Tate gives it back to Dejanay. 3 seconds on the 5-on-3. Talbot tried the redirect. Chance here for the Blaze as they come back to full strength, and they'll be 3-on-2. Ross Cowley makes a break for the net as Timmins tries to chip the puck to him. Sheffield with a fairly easy out. Soderstrom collects, goes east to west, finds Neil Martin inside 90 seconds remaining in this first period. Randy Dejanay in his first year with the Sheffield Steelers. It's been solid and just gives the puck away there. Sarich comes and bails out. Gets it back out to Phillips. Phillips with a heads-up play, got Finnerty ahead of him, comes down the middle and chips it right the way down. Coney comes out of his net. Finnerty was just behind him, and Coulson chips down the boards where it's intercepted by Manzano. Manzano again just chips down the boards. Outlet pass to Calder. Calder finds Barry Moore. Barry Moore steps inside, fires one right down the belly of Jody Lehman. Whistle blows. There'll be a face-off in the offensive zone. Just 52 seconds remain, and linesman being a little pernickety, but a face-off win for Finnerty. Manzano and Munn combine to chip it out. Martin on a backhand. Gets it to Coulson. Coulson down the left-hand side to Barry Moore, who hits the blue line and fires it into the blocker of Lehman. Manzano and Moore race into the corner. Sheffield have an out with Munn, but Calder just came across and made the block. Manzano, long outlet pass again through traffic, all the way down behind Koenig's goal. Koenig, Phillips can't stop it coming out of the defensive zone. Only as far as Manzano. Manzano just chips it in. This period's just going to see itself out, I think, as we enter the final dozen seconds. And a period that started slowly, a period that chances were hard to come by. Power play goal then for Le Gui, icing called. We're still going to have 1 second of action. I did think it started a little slow. I thought both teams were feeling each other out a little bit, and the goalies didn't make saves early doors.
You get that safe aspect of things where, you know, you dump and chip and kind of get the feeling and make a few hits. But for me, Dave, the way these guys started, it was so slick, especially the Sheffield Steelers. They came out, you know, you'd expect a team chasing the league title to have that little bit of jump and a little bit of anxiousness, make a few mistakes, but you know, both teams very, very composed in the first half of this period, and like I said, I think it's been a very entertaining first period.
Ryan Finnerty just tries to shoot the puck right off the face-off. This period ends a 1-1 period. Sheffield Steelers started on the power play. Jeff Le Gui with a bully, but what great work from Rod Sarich. When the Sheffield Steelers second power play came along, though, it was a short-handed chance. Let's see that goal again. Le Gui, absolute bully. 1-0 Sheffield Steelers. But, of course, Calder has tied it. 1-1 into 1. We'll be back soon for the second period. Welcome back to the Sheffield Arena, where it's the first place Coventry Blaze visiting the second place Sheffield Steelers. And as you would expect from the two top teams, a very close first period. 1 goal each. Jeff Le Gui for the Steelers, Adam Calder for the Coventry Blaze, and shots on goal, Nick, showing how tight it was. Yeah, shots on goal more or less even, but you know, you get a short-handed goal and then you get a power play goal. It just goes to show you, Dave, that, you know, with teams, it's such high quality that special teams play such an important part in the game in the run to a league title. Well, they say, don't they, special teams win championships. Yes, they do, as Nick sneezes. Achoo! There's Jeff Le Gui, the scorer of a cracking goal for the Sheffield Steelers, a power play pass just inside the blue line, and the goal that tied the game, equally as impressive from Adam Calder.
I'd say maybe just a little bit more. Le Gui, great confidence in that high slot, but Calder, those are the Kodak moment shots, you know, that, you know, working on the ponds back in Canada day in and day out, shooting pucks. And that's why it pays off.
I spoke briefly with both coaches in between the first. Yeah, they talked to me.
Like me again.
Yeah, they talk to me all the time. They like me. Paul Thompson, happy with his team's performance, said he thought they came back into the game strongly. Dave Matzos thought they were a little loose, the Sheffield Steelers. Wanted them just to be a little bit more gritty, a little bit tighter in the second period. But he also thought his team got better, even though they scored the early goal.
And like I say, both teams, you know, heads on a swivel, looking for those options. And, you know, you get to this point in the season, Dave, where all the hard work, all the practices, all the systems, this is where they start to pay off if you execute them and if you don't make any mistakes.
Shepherd out in front. Talbot just couldn't quite convert. Here's Jeff Le Guy. Le Guy throws one at the net again. Shepherd tried to redirect, still has it as Carlson follows him into the boards. Le Guy, as the Steelers start to cycle, but he was a heads down from Rod Sarich and didn't realise the puck was coming his way. Sheffield keep it in the offensive zone. Shepherd has it. Now Le Guy just turns on a sixpence. Everybody ducks. Even I ducked and it was going the other way to me. Sarich races and gets to that loose puck first. Comes out on his strong side behind the goal of Lehman. Long outlet pass to Shepherd. Shepherd gets it to Le Guy, who headmans over the blue line. Finds Sarich, who's joined the play again. Back out to Shepherd. Chance at the back door by Talbot. Well, we talk about Neil Martin skating, but Rod Sarich then, as Le Guy throws one to the net. Sarich behind his own goal, then made the play through the neutral zone, and then almost completed the play right in the offensive zone. And that's just what Rod Sarich can do. Icing waved off as Desjardins gets to the loose puck. Line change for both the Steelers and the Blaze. Long outlet pass, intercepted, never really found Jonathan Phillips. Desjardins bangs off the boards, Cloutier comes in, but Steelers collect with Tate, who gets it out to Tessier. Tessier tried to chip it into the corner. Manzano steps across. Desjardins chips in, and the puck comes halfway up the arena over the plexiglass as it gets deflected out of the ice area. Curtis Upping, formerly of Belfast, first year with the Coventry Blaze, chips it out to Cowley, who's his second spell with the Blaze. Manzano, we're getting tactical, he's in his second year, with Timmins, who's in his first half a year. Weaver, quick hands to Cowley. Cowley just gets taken out by Manzano. Manzano tries to rim round, only as far as Cloutier. Cloutier leaves it for Huppy. Huppy's looking for Cowley in the middle. Steelers get a break. There's a penalty. It's a holding penalty against Dan Tessier.
There's Tessier with the hold. Just there you see that, just at the top of your screen, Tessier holding the stick of the Coventry Blaze. Michael Hicks right on the spot. And again, by the letter of the law, that's a call. And Dave, to me, I like refs that call those because for a forward, it's so I was almost going to swear. So annoying when a guy's got a hold of your stick.
.60 seconds gone then in Coventry's power play as Danny Stewart, second line out. And as Nick said in the first power play, the second unit played just as sweetly as the first unit did in their first power plays. Warren Tate moves the puck to his brother Ashley. Ashley moves into the middle and fires the shot off the blocker of Trevor Koenig. Weaver, outlet pass to Cowley, who got taken down, and therefore Manzano had the easy out. Weaver again. Barrymore chips into the corner. Stewart will get there, and he's ahead of Manzano. Manzano now comes across and covers and makes the hit. No turnover yet. No chance for the Steelers to try and clear out with 24 seconds left on the power play. Stewart tries to get the puck down to Moore, but Tay got there early and hammers all the way down. Coney comes out, trying to move the puck quickly, giving Sheffield less time to clear their lines. Cloutier comes on, but again, Sheffield through Desjardins, who has looked strong and solid all night, chips down. Handful of seconds remaining, 4 on the clock. And the Sheffield Steelers have killed the second Coventry Blaze power play. They're back to full strength. Tessier comes out. Shepherd finishes on a hit. Tessier gets it back. Doug Shepherd gets it out to Tessier. James Cook, the youngster from Nottingham, with a good interception. Sylvain Cloutier, the captain of the Coventry Blaze, loses it in his skates for a moment. Martin gets the puck out to Cook, across ice dump. Coventry can't get there first. It's Sarich who gets there first. They miss out Thomas and goes to Shepherd. Shepherd, long outlet pass. Sheffield come with speed. It's tall, but Le Guy drives to the net. Martin had Le Guy, and the puck hammered around by Joe Talbot into the neutral zone. Then a turnover. Huppy tries to force, but Saric has got back, just puts the brakes on, rink-wide pass. There's going to be another rink-wide pass coming in here from Shepard. No, gets back out to Saric. Saric blue line, takes a shot. Offside called. And it is offside against Joe Talbot. Ashley Tate makes his way back to the bench. So does Rod Saric. Steve Munn takes his job.
Dave, you know how this season we've been talking about Sylvain Cloutier being the heart and soul, the lungs of the Coventry Blaze. There he is right now, and you can see how productive he's been. But so far, halfway through this game, we haven't seen the Sylvain Cloutier that we're normally seeing. Normally, he can get if his game offensively or defensively isn't that productive. Normally, you see him get in the face of guys and rub his glove in someone's face and try and swing momentum their way. But he's been quite quiet so far halfway through this game.
Well, when the Nottingham Panthers tried to rough stuff up in the NIC last Saturday, when Bergin and Watkins went again, Cloutier, showing the leadership and the captaincy, just goes straight up to Ryan Schmeer. And Cloutier's not a fighter, and he's certainly not in Schmeer's class, but goes straight up to Schmeer, jumps on him, and says, "Hey, I'm gonna lead the battle. I'm gonna show my boys." And that's what he is like we say. I mean, he's in my All-Star lineup. I know I beat him. He definitely is in my All-Star lineup, not yours. I know you keep trying to claim that. But right now, like I say, halfway through this game, he hasn't had that jump or that drive that we normally see he has in a game. Every player has part of his game that falls down at certain parts, but you bring another part up, your physicality or making a heads-up play or just doing the little battles right. And so far, he's had kind of a quiet game. Almost halfway then through this second period, halfway through this game. We're on Sylvain Cloutier watch. He's one of our favourite players. One of the most influential players in the league. Is another one of those guys. Tessier tries to get it around to Tate, leaves him. Jonathan Phillips has got Tessier just in front. Phillips comes on the wraparound. Puck only out as far as Dejanay through Tafik, hits the backboards, comes back out, but not good enough for Tate as Tate was coming in. Sheffield outnumbered actually if Martin had jumped into the play, and of course that leaves a space at the back, but Tessier couldn't jump on the loose puck. Tessier again working well with Tate, back to Tessier. Timmins follows Tate, Carlson follows Tessier. Long shot comes into the glove of Koenig, and you could see Koenig just looking around players. His body position stayed square on, his head was on a swivel, and he just looked around. You could see where the puck was coming and got the glove out almost baseball style. Watch this.
Yeah, you can see, the shot getting a deflection off of Moore there, and Koenig standing his ground. And he definitely has the radar on tight tonight, straight to that block. Another face-off. This time Stewart probably got the better of it. Thomas has got to work hard to get back as Watkins just bursts his gut there just to try and get something on it. Watkins again, the furthest man forward. Ian Manzano. He holds a Spanish passport. That doesn't make him European though, does it, Nick? Of course it does.
He's Canadian. He doesn't even know where Spain. He doesn't even know where Spain is.
I've got both passports.
You're North American. Penalty coming in on the clock, and it's going to go against the Sheffield Steelers. It's a tripping call. The Blaze are going on their third power play of the night. Power play time for the Blaze. They normally score 1 in 3.
Well, the Spaniard getting his stick moving down low, and he called tripping. Maybe that wasn't the play there, I'm not sure, but that was just a good taking the body play. But Ian Manzano going down 2-minute minor for tripping. And Dave, this is exactly what Dave Matsos and the Sheffield Steelers do not want.
You gotta love this sport, haven't you? Dejanay just can't quite clear though. Adam Calder, the goal scorer. Sylvain Cloutier. Cloutier puts the brakes on, gets taken into the boards by Steve Munn. There's 2 veteran American leaguers. Huppy working hard, gets the puck out to Dan Carlson. Carlson back to Cloutier, to Huppy, quick hands. They do have their big unit up with Calder on the top here. Weaver sags low at the far side of your screen. Carlson helps it on its way. Weaver jumps into the play. Tessier goes to cover him. Munn there and will beat Carlson to the loose puck. Sheffield will have an easy out, and they do. They don't clear all the way out, but they clear enough to get 2-man change, and Saric comes onto the ice, so does Talbot. and warranted. Here at the back door is Cloutier. Back door on that side was Adam Calder. He scored short-handed in the first period. He scored on the power play in the second period. The league-leading Coventry Blaze now lead the second-place team, Sheffield Steelers, by 2-1, a power play goal.
Dave, you know what? Earlier on, just before the puck gets played out of the zone here and they come back, look at how they've come back now, and then they've got Huppy on this far wall, and that's what they want to do. They want to try and set things up on that far side and have guys driving to net for those off-wing shots, and that's what they wanted to do. Earlier on, they had the power play set up down low in this near wall, in this near corner, and I think almost Sheffield clearing the zone for helped Coventry because they regrouped, swapped everyone into the lanes that they wanted to. And then here you have the scoring opportunity and a 2-1 lead.
Dave Matsos will be absolutely livid because Sheffield had an easy out on that penalty kill, and they only got it to the blue line, and that didn't give their players
it let
a chance.
Come out, regroup, and like I say, fill the lanes that they wanted to fill.
But also Sheffield were late getting a change. It was a bad change for the Steelers, and they were always chasing the puck. They were behind the puck on the penalty kill, which surely shouldn't be the case. Face off with Legui, gets back to Manzano. He's going to throw one at the net. Talbot just can't get enough of it. At the end of our show, when we review the goals, Nick, I'd just like to see the half shift before that goal when Sheffield have the chance to clear down. Anyway, Legui finishes, but it's the Coventry Blaze at the moment on the ascendancy. What a pass by Huppy to Watkins. So Stewart to Watkins. Archer makes a drive down the middle. Archer comes in and has it out, comes away from the corner. He just skates so well and fires the shot at Jody Lehman. And Coventry Blaze at the moment starting to just turn the screw a little bit, and they're in the ascendancy with just over 7:20 remaining in this middle period. I like the way Archer just skates off the wall there and fires it.
Yeah, and just a spin from the wall, from the quick, guys banging down low, getting possession. That's what you got to do. Comes out, gets the shot on Lehman, everyone drives to the net, and they get a face-off out of it. But yeah, now the momentum, you can feel it. Coventry Blaze swinging the momentum back in their favor. The Sheffield Steelers just got to lock down, stick to their game plan.
Shot again from the outside. Lehman square on the puck. Talbot in a battle, and he clears into the neutral zone. Collected Timmins, goes east to west to Weaver. Huppy it is, who hammers behind the goal of Lehman. Puck almost comes all the way out, and Sheffield needs some good puck possession at the moment to try and utilise their great speed. And Coventry are doing a pretty good job at the moment of nullifying that. Here's Russ Cowley. Cowley takes a shot Lehman denies. Lehman comes out of his net and on his forehand clears down the boards. Cloutier had Talbot. Manzano cuts into the middle. And it's scrappy from David Matsos' team right now. They can't find much flow.
Scrappy because Coventry have got 3 guys back, and then they're pushing one up into the neutral zone, creating that lock opportunity so the Sheffield Steelers then have to dump it. The Sheffield Steelers for most of this game putting nice passes together, stringing things, looking really confident. And now Coventry have seen that. They're going to fog the neutral zone and make this a scrappy game.
Delayed offside, waved off as Coventry come with speed right down the middle. Backhand pass from Carlson, gets it out to Calder, who of course is looking for the HT. And more Carlson and Calder certainly doing the damage, and more finishes on a late hit there. Sheffield will try and clear, but it's a long aimless pass at the moment that Carlson picks up on. Phillips' speed is good, but he can't quite, he's not quicker than the puck. Barrymore hits the blue line, chips in. Munn heads up play, but he hasn't got too many options. Coventry have them covered. And again, another long outlet pass that Phillips fights through. Penalty coming in. Sheffield Steelers going on the power play for the 3rd time tonight. They scored on their first. They conceded on their second. Here's a chance to tie this game up. A hooking call against James Pease.
Let's have a look if we can here, James Pease. The Sheffield Steelers with a quick long outlet pass there, and then Martin and Pease. And Pease gets a little hook around on the outside and pulls him down. 2-minute minor for hooking, and the Sheffield Steelers have a chance to try and notch things up.
Blaze 10 years, he's been with the Blaze. James Pease plays his testimonial, I think it's the 25th of this month at the Skydome Arena.
Do you think he ever scores in practice?
No. Savage keeps it in, then it comes back out again.
How many games now without a goal?
I think it's around 600. But he does a pretty good job defensively. Soderstrom takes takedown and then fires all the way down the ice. Lehman comes out, put Tessier in a bit of trouble, but now the Sheffield Steelers have a turnover. with Tessier and Tate, and Talbot's out there and takes the shot, and Koenig got across. A high stick if Coventry touched the puck first. They did. It was Russ Cowley, but Joe Talbot had a great opportunity there, and somehow Koenig got across and again just got square onto the puck and made the save. Tessier gets it to Sarich. Sarich takes a shot off the backboards. Talbot came in. Tessier again tries a backhand pass. And again, 2-on-1 there if Martin had skated short-handed. And we've seen the Coventry Blaze score short-handed in Cardiff. We've seen them score short-handed in Edinburgh. And, of course, in Coventry the last time we were there. And tonight, so a team that just knows how to score when a man down. Le Gouy leaves it, and Sheffield at the moment just not having any kind of fluidity, except now maybe. Here's Le Gouy out in front, has 1 bite, 2 bites, just didn't fall nicely for him early doors. And the whistle blows, Michael Hicks, but a great opportunity for Jeff Le Gouy to get his second of the night. Just as I was saying, no fluidity to the Sheffield Steelers. They strung 4 quick passes together in a second.
Great spot by Sarich to the far side, and Le Gouy gets founded down low by Talbot. You know, these guys are... Dave, I said it right at the start of the game. Seems like all their radars are on, the way they're finding each other. It's tape to tape. It's really, really nice hockey to watch.
It's power play time for the Sheffield Steelers against the Coventry Blaze. 4:25 remain in this middle period. 51 seconds left of power play chance for the Coventry Blaze. Martin hard off the wall, gets it out past Tessier. Lehman comes to it, but Desjardins is going to have no time on the puck because of how quickly the Coventry Blaze are all over the Sheffield Steelers defenseman. It was Carlson on that opportunity. Here come the Steelers with speed. It's the only way they know. Tessier manhandled the puck there, and his 2 forwards across the blue line. They have to regroup. Here is Tessier again. Sheffield from a standing start this time, and that's where they perhaps find it a little more difficult. Shepherd does good work on the boards, and he's going to try and find the point. Can't do so. Tessier has to turn around and get back in a defensive position as Carlson steps inside, takes a shot. Carlson's shin pads deflected. It's still with Carlson, and Sheffield have to put 2 men on him. Tessier comes back and picks up on a loose puck. 3 seconds remain on the 5-on-4 power play. By that time now, Coventry are back to full strength. Here's Tessier again. Tessier tries to find Finnerty. Finnerty's got one out in front, a little bit of digging. James Pease comes out of the box.
Look close for a delay of the game call, and I think we're going to see it. It wasn't Calder. It was Jonathan Weaver, the puck down low, and he just kind of corrals it underneath them. And that's a delay of game. He's lucky he wasn't in the paint.
Explain that paint rule to those that don't know.
If he would have covered the puck with his hand like that inside the goal crease, that would have been a penalty shot, Dave, and we love that.
We do indeed. But it's the Coventry Blaze again who are killing penalties well right now. Russ Cowley steps inside Sarich. Sarich did a great job. Sarich has been the best Sheffield Steelers player to date. Here comes Ashley Tate. Power play time again for the Steelers. Tate fires one right into the body of Koenig, who got across to it. Cloutier clears behind his goal, takes a hit for the trouble. Joe Talbot looks up, finds Sarich. Sarich at the centre position, makes the play to Desjardins. Back to Sarich. Sarich is going to go back to Desjardins. Desjardins with a wrist shot, fires one just wide of the goal of Koenig. Le Gouy can't quite control, now gets it at the second asking. They miss Tate out and go to Talbot. Soderstrom comes across and cuts out, and Soderstrom does a good job defensively. Talbot's got nowhere to go, but Talbot battles hard and gets it to Le Gouy. In fact, they miss Le Gouy, go to Sarich now. Sarich, who's at the back door? It's Le Gouy and Talbot. Le Gouy has it. 60 seconds expired of the 2-minute power play. Here's Le Gouy, fires one, gets a redirect, and heads over the plexiglass. It was Joe Talbot who was stood right in front of Trevor Koenig, but Koenig has looked solid and sharp in goal, and David Matzos scratching his head at the moment to try and find a way past the Canadian goalie.
Well, he's right now the story of the game, because the guy has been so solid, because you cannot fault the Sheffield Steelers the way they're moving the puck around here on the power play. 2 guys up at the point. They got 3 guys down low. You know, trying to outpower the Coventry Blaze down low, and Trevor Koenig's been absolutely solid. But again, the Sheffield Steelers are looking confident the way they're moving the puck around, and you know, Paul Thompson's got to be worried. He can't keep giving up the power play opportunities as well.
2:27 as the puck drops. Left in that one, just under a minute on the power play for David Matsos's team. As Desjardins makes his way to the puck. Neil Martin just shaking his leg. I think he's okay. Here's Finnerty, gets it down the left-hand side to captain Jonathan Phillips. Phillips cuts into the middle, gets taken out by Martin. Penalty coming in, and the penalty is going to be against the Coventry Blaze, I believe. It's going to be Barry Moore that heads to the penalty box. So 3 consecutive penalties against the Coventry Blaze, and this latest one by Barry Moore will give the Sheffield Steelers a 35-second power play.
Yeah, the 5-on-3s that the Elite League love, and there you can see the hook. It kind of gets well, I keep saying kind of, it gets stuck in the glove there of Talbot, or was it Legui, and the hooking call is being made there. It's 5-on-3. The Sheffield Steelers, the way they're moving the puck around right now, they're looking nice and sharp. And
well, the Sheffield Steelers 5-on-3. Here is the opportunity that they require to get back into this game.
They got that penalty, Dave, because they're gaining their speed. They're going out wide, like we mentioned earlier, and that's what they have to keep doing.
First part of this second period, they didn't use that great speed like they did in the first. Sarich gets it across to Tessier, back to Sarich. 5 white shirts, 3 blue. Sarich gets it low. Keep your eye on the clock. 27 seconds on the 5-on-3. Out front is Sarich. Legui gets it back out to Dan Tessier. Tessier fakes the shot, Willie. Wish he'd shoot the puck more. Tessier, back to Sarich to Tessier. One time a Legui. Koenig got it covered. And from that angle, Koenig's always got it covered. Sarich again. 10 seconds on the 5-on-3. Ashley Tate gets it back out to Tessier. Tessier to the back door. And it's a loose puck out front. It's Legui. Legui and Koenig in a stick fight. 1 second on the 5-on-3. Fans to my left of the Coventry Blaze stand and rise for Trevor Koenig, who is making stop after stop after stop right now.
He is the big difference of this game right now, Dave. And we mentioned earlier on, he's taken quite a few shots, and he's just looking really confident. Look how he moves across his goal. Gets the blocker down. You know, you move across, you know you've lost momentum, and then look at that. I mean, he double switches it. Unbelievable movement by the goalie.
You're watching at home, kids?
Two of the best saves you'll see back-to-back.
Putting on a clinic. Still 5-on-4 power play. Shot from Sarich, redirect from Talbot. Just on the outside of the post. 1:15 left on the power play. 5-on-4 power play now. An extra blue shirt. Sarich fakes. One-timer right into Koenig. Koenig makes another stop. He's the story of this game.
Sarich and Tessier working the puck up high. Now, Trevor Koenig knows what's going on here, and that's what you got to do. You got to outthink these guys, and he knows, all right, these guys are trying to pull me to my right, so I know they're going to come back to the far side for the one-timer. And Koenig, one of the best goalies in the league at reading those. So the Sheffield Steelers have got to become more dynamic on their power play.
Legui loses that in the face-off circle, and it's Jonathan Weaver, who chips all the way down where Sarich will collect. And you feel if it's going to be a moment of genius from the Steelers, it might come from Sarich tonight. Tate got it round to Tessier. Tessier on the backhand pass to Sarich. Sarich gets it across to Legui. Legui to Sarich. Sarich right at the middle, 12 o'clock. Takes a long shot. Legui gets to a loose puck, but doesn't get there first. Elbow from Legui, followed by a slash from Cowley. Talbot jumps in. 30 seconds left on the power play. 35 seconds left on the period. Still with the Sheffield Steelers. Legui in the office, looking for some options. And one option is Tate. Tate gets it across to Sarich, who fires one again just off the backboard. Not a good bounce. Penalty coming up. It's going to be against Jeff Legui for a little hook behind the goal as the board rebounded off the backboards. And we're going to end this second period on a 4-on-4 play.
Little hook, still a hook. The Sheffield Steelers now, you can see the desperation. They've had so many chances. I'm not saying they're desperate yet, Dave, by no means, but you can see they're kind of forcing things a little bit. They're pushing where they wouldn't normally push, and you pull back. And like I say, be a little bit more dynamic on your power play. Don't try and force and push things, because there's still a lot of hockey left to play, and you can see the puck being moved from behind the net. And the shot coming in from, I think it was Sarich on the point. And there's the little hook there, Legui. You know, you just want to try and get that extra little pace, but again, it's a hooking call. Good call by Michael Hicks.
Well, I think the Sheffield Steelers have got to play a little desperate. because they have to win this game. They perhaps have to overreach
Desperate's
things.
a negative word, though. You have to, everyone knows they've got to win this game, Dave. It's how you play, and desperation is by no means what you've got to do. Yet there's still 20 minutes to go, and they're not in a desperate state.
Well, the second period has ended. A 1-1 first period, but Adam Calder's second goal of the night, the only thing to show for this second session, and Adam Calder's power play goal means that at the end of the second period, the Coventry Blaze lead by 2-1. Here it is, backdoor Adam Calder. We show it 2 times, Calder only needed 1. He's looking for the hat-trick. Blaze lead 2-1. We're back with the third period. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Sheffield Arena, where the Coventry Blaze lead the Sheffield Steelers by 2-1. Third period coming up. This is the period that's going to determine, in my opinion, where the Be My Baby League title goes. And you can see Koenig has been the busier of the 2 goaltenders, but that power play strike from Adam Calder means that man, Trevor Koenig, has just shut the door on the Sheffield Steelers. Well, Paul Thompson, in my opinion, is 20 minutes away from back-to-back league titles, because a 6-point advantage in a game in hand with just 5 games left, I don't care if the New York Rangers are chasing you, you're not going to catch that.
But the
Sheffield
Rangers suck
Steelers
this year anyway, so that's all right.
Sheffield Steelers have to win this period and have to win this game if the league title is going to go any further, in my opinion. Here's Weaver. Loses out to Sarich, who's been the Steelers' best player today. Tries to cut inside. Follow up by Warren Tate. And the man Calder gets it out of Cloutier. Cloutier on a drop pass, and big shot comes in. Cloutier's there at the back door, chance to win it for the Blaze. And you can just see how big a goal that is for the Coventry Blaze.
What did we say about this guy earlier on, eh?
Wasn't doing a lot, but...
Now, do you know what he does, though, Dave? He drives to the net. I mean, I don't know if that went off a shin, a skate, whatever, but Cloutier drove to the net. It's in the back of the net. They got a 2-goal lead. But Sylvain Cloutier, digging deep, doing what he does. When he can't find something, watch him just drive. He'll go here, boom, head to the net, boom. He loses his footing.
Jody Lehman made that first stop, didn't he? Tried to just cover up, then tried to get a stick to it. Cloutier just got and just somehow...
I think that went off the fallen Sheffield Steeler. You could see there's the rebound bouncing. Sarich coming around wide there, taking Cloutier. And look at Sarich's skate. And do you know what? That goes in off of Sarich's skate into the net. And but nonetheless, Cloutier, it was him who was driving it. But we don't have own goals in ice hockey, folks.
Well, let's see what the Sheffield Steelers are made of. They trail by 2 goals here, 3-1. The Blaze lead just into this third period. Sheffield, who coming into this game had lost just 1 of the last 15 games. Their fans believed, their players believed.
Oh dear. Tell you what, Neil Martin took that one up high, folks, and everyone just quietly shuts up because he took that one up high, and no one wants to see that. And this guy, the Coventry Blaze, cannot lose him. The league can't lose this guy. I hope he's all right. He'll say he was blessed. You can see there the shot coming up high, getting him in the helmet. But Neil Martin will be the first one to say he was blessed with legs, not what's in between the 2 ears, so it probably doesn't hurt him that much.
Weaver, who of course will captain the Great Britain national team to Austria. Here's Stewart. Stewart one-on-one. Stewart scores and wraps it up. Danny Stewart, his only 2nd goal in the last 16 games, has scored for the Coventry Blaze, their 4th goal of the night, 2nd inside 2 minutes of this 3rd and final period. The Coventry Blaze have come into Sheffield 4 times this season. 3 times they've gone home the losing team. But on this one, the night that it matters, they lead by 4-1. Outstanding finish by Stewart.
Stewart getting a lucky bounce off of Mazzano, who mishandles the puck on his own blue line. And I think we're getting a timeout called here, probably by Matzos. I'm not actually quite sure, but Dave Matzos may be calling a timeout, trying to regroup the troops. Stewart, all year long, we've seen this guy dig. He's the kind of player, he's like a bulldog, gets his head down and just drives. He makes a great finish on Lehman. But again, Mazzano probably going to be, you know what, desperately going to be very, very upset with himself for giving the puck away. And, you know, you just cannot give the puck away with a guy heading in with that speed.
So David Matzos has some thinking to do. The Sheffield Steelers have fought for 15 games, have gone on an incredible run just to get back into this title hunt. Worked so hard, won so many games, big games. But now it's the Coventry Blaze who have led the league since the second weekend of the year. Finnerty doesn't get taken down, stays on his feet, drives hard round Weaver, cuts to the middle, now gets taken down. Weaver's on his way to the penalty box. Sheffield Steelers are going to the power play. You can just see, what are you saying, Nick? Taking the guy wide. Nick's making all kinds of
driving
funny
wide,
moves there.
Dave. Look, this is what they do now. They've had their chances up the middle. Now Finnerty using his speed, going inside, outside, and just giving the little dipsy doodle on Weaver. And Weaver forced to make the little hook. And you wonder if Weaver was at full 100% fitness, he would have had to make that because he's so good on the spin. But nonetheless, the Sheffield Steelers on the power play got a great opportunity to try and pull this one back and close things within 2.
Sheffield on the power play. They've scored their only goal of the night on the power play. Here's Talbot. Steelers to try and get back into this one. Tate gets it back to Tessier. Tessier takes the shot through traffic. Timmins picks up on a rebound. Makes a pass out for Calder, who has an easy out all the way down the ice behind Lehman's goal. Here comes Sarich. Sarich with speed. Red line, fires it straight. That obviously is the plan of the Sheffield Steelers, because every time they have that opportunity, that seems to be the move that they're making.
But it's the one now that they're not having any success. Where they're having success is like we've seen just on Finnerty driving right around Weaver. That's what they have to do, and we've seen them so good at it all year long.
They have to go to plan B. Le Gui gets it back to the point, but Tessier struggles to control, then finally bats it out of the air. Joe Talbot gets it to Le Gui. Tessier's waiting for it. Here is Dan Tessier. Tessier back to Le Gui. 60 seconds remain on the power play. Puck low with Talbot. Talbot cuts inside. Now gets it to Le Gui. Le Gui fires one. It was high. Bounces off the boards to Talbot. Keeps puck possession for the Sheffield Steelers. Cloutier and Tessier in a battle. Le Gui will have the pass from Sarich. That didn't look like it crossed the line to me, but I'm not the linesman down there, and Marco Conan said it did.
I don't know if it did, David. You know, we haven't looked at the replay yet, but the puck has got to clear. You know, you see the thick blue line. It can't just go into it. It's got to clear the whole zone and fully clear the edge that's closest to the red line in the neutral zone, and that was tight.
Still power play time, though, for David Matzos' team. Finnerty, who's got tons of carry, so chips it in. Phillips goes to get it. Now Finnerty on the backhand, gets it back to Jonathan Phillips. They look up and they can see Shepherd in front of Koenig, and here's Phillips now. He's going to cut to the inside, forces Koenig, a little bit of pushing and shoving, and a goal, and it's given a goal, and the Sheffield Steelers have got a power play effort. The Coventry Blaze aren't happy. They look at the goal judge, who hasn't yet put his light on.
But you know what? It doesn't matter what the goal judge does. Michael Hicks was right behind that goal and looking at the puck. Now, what do we say, David? Get to Koenig, drive in on him, drive in those wide lanes, get in front of him, bug him. And the Sheffield Steelers have done that here. We'll see what happens. Look at them working it down low.
Jonathan
drive
Phillips
to the net, driving, and then there's the rebound.
Can you see that?
Well, Shepherd looks like to have claimed the goal, but let's just have a little look. It's on the far side. Drive to the net. Drive through that lane. He's got a guy in front. Now Shepherd's right there. Boom. He pops it in off that rebound. It's in the back of the net. Michael Hicks had not blown the whistle. Let's have a look here. Look at Shepherd, number 28. Pick it up right there. Boom. Gets two whacks at it. Cross the goal line. Michael Hicks right there. It's a goal.
Michael Hicks made the right decision, and you can see he was adamant with his pointing as well, can't you?
And now look at Koenig. Look at Koenig. He's got the puck in his locker, throws it. That's what the Sheffield Steelers want. Get underneath this guy's skin, because he's been so solid now, and now let's test him.
So the Sheffield Steelers back in it, 4-2. Still just under 16 minutes remain. They've got under Trevor Koenig's skin. Can they get back into this one? 2 goals. 1 for Shepherd, and a goal for the Coventry Blaze. They fired one right through the 5-hole of Johnny Lehman. And Jody Lehman, who has been solid and outstanding, will just won that one back. Long shot from the outside, right through the 5-hole of the Sheffield Steelers goalie. And as the Steelers get back into it, the Coventry Blaze make it by 5-2.
Well, the shot coming out, look at how the Blaze, they gain the zone, and there's a one-timer from, you know, it's from a far angle. It's got more drive into the net. Jody Lehman will definitely want this back, but Calder getting it from Carlson on the one-timer. And I suppose that's what it is that Jody Lehman's moving laterally across his net. Look at this, boom. Finds a 5-hole, and it just takes the deflection. Great shot. The guy is just unbelievable. Like I say, NHL shot, folks. It doesn't get any better than that, but Jody Lehman will want that one. You know, any goalie that gets beaten from far out there and it trickles between the 5-hole, it's going to hurt them.
Hat-trick for Adam Calder. The man we said was the one to watch tonight. So Sheffield have got back in it once. Can they get back in it a second time? They trail by 3 with 15 minutes to go. Joe Talbot just trying to cheat there, and you have to say that's what the Sheffield Steelers are going to have to do. Just throw everything at the Coventry Blaze, run and gun. Here's Le Guy, the guy who set the Sheffield Steelers up early doors on that power play blast. Le Guy holds the play. He's got Manzano joining the action, but he just throws it at the net. And here's Danny Stewart, who scored the 4th goal for Coventry from a long angle, gives it to Lehman. Whistle blows, Lehman makes the stop. So a lot of to-in and fro-in with the linesman Marco Conan and Danny Stewart of Coventry. But we're underway. Phillips has got to get into that corner first. Archer and Phillips clash. Thomas on a nice backhand. Gets it out to Warren Tate. Gives it to Finnerty. Finnerty comes with speed as Tate drives to the net. Tate is driving to the net. There's going to be a penalty on the clock as Tate drove to the net. I'm still waiting to see who the penalties are going. It's an interference call.
Well, it'll be an interference call against the Coventry Blaze. Neil Martin, I believe, because he had to pick Ashley Tate up, drive into the net, and see Neil Martin. I wonder if that...
Well, that's nasty, isn't it, on Neil Martin?
Now, we don't know. Obviously, that's not from earlier on. That's happened just now. He's going to be he's a feisty guy, but let's see what happens here. Again, the Sheffield Steelers driving wide. Ashley Tate going to the net, and sorry, Warren Tate.
Yeah, as Warren Tate went down, his stick just jabs into the nose, doesn't it, of Neil Martin there, and then there again.
Yeah. See Neil Martin grimace there, and
I think we'd all grimace there, wouldn't we?
Neil Martin doing what he's got to do. He takes the man. Warren Tate just being really, really physical.
Well, he's in the middle of a sandwich there between Koenig and Tate. He gets sticked, he gets blocked. So 14 minutes and 30 seconds remain. Warren Tate on a 2-2 for accidental high sticks. And the Sheffield Steelers will be killing penalty. As the Coventry Blaze power play comes in, Mark Thomas goes over to serve that penalty. There, my baby, Elite League action on Sky Sports. Power play time for the best power play in the league. But Sheffield have done well in killing a lot of the Coventry-based power plays. Here's Adam Calder, who's already got 3 tonight. Tries to drive through Munu. Finishes with a late one on Calder, and Sheffield have the easy out. Koenig collects and leaves it for Dan Carlson. Carlson picks up behind the goal of his netminder.
Calder and Munn having a few words, but folks, watch this guy on the puck right now, and when he doesn't have the puck, his movement and how he opens things up for his players, because he creates so much space and so many passing lanes for other opportunities.
Savage with an out, can't get it all the way out across to Calder, gives it to Weaver, to Cloutier. Huppy's waiting. Huppy just couldn't quite take enough of that, and Savage took Huppy off the puck. Sheffield will break with Steve Munn. Cloutier's coming back. Munn hammers into Martin and loses his stick and loses his glove and has to come back to the bench. So it's a new stick, and Manzano then comes on in his place. Offside called. Little bit of afters with Cloutier and Talbot. Huppy joins in the play with Finnerty. 13 minutes then and 26 seconds remain. Can the Sheffield Steelers get back not only into this game but into this league title race? Phillips chases and chases hard. Koenig falls down. Did Phillips help him on his way? Phillips still working hard. Timmins comes across him. Stewart has it. Phillips just doesn't stop working, and a foot race between Stewart and Phillips. Finnerty cuts across. There's going to be a tripping minor on Finnerty as Cowley goes down. And Finnerty is going to come across into the penalty box. 5-on-3 power play action for the... Or is it going to... Yeah, it's going to be a penalty.
David, do you know what?
Do you know what he's done? He's called the double here.
Awesome.
He's gone and called the trip on Finnerty, and he's called the dive on Cowley. How can you call the two of those?
What are you trying to do? But you know what? And that's fair enough. I was going to say if he called out one way, it'd be really unfortunate because you can see Cowley here with the puck.
But you tell me, and we had this, Nick, last week when you were on the beach somewhere on holiday, and Ruben and I were talking about this, and Russ Cowley was the player in question, where the referee calls the trip and he calls the dive. Explain how it can be both. It's a trip or it's a dive.
Yeah, and I think that's what everyone's saying here. Or in that case, because of what happened behind the play as well, I mean, there was a little bit of stick grabbing, a little bit of holding, and that's where I would like the refs to put the puck in their, put the whistle in their pocket, because really he didn't need to make a call there.
Or make the right decision. Do you think referee it is a trip, or referee, do you think the player do?
I think just let them both go.
But here's Barrymore. Cuts down the middle. Let the players decide. What we said at the start of the night. Cloutier's waiting at the back door. Couldn't quite get it past as Le Gui finishes. Another long shot comes in. So it was Desjardins. Desjardins finished hard. Here's Dan Carlson. Still power play time. 1 bite, 2 bites. Lehman makes the first save and the second save. Sheffield have their players back to full strength. We're now 5-on-5. Desjardins again, strong in the corner. Mark Thomas breaks down the right-hand side. Hits the red line and chips. There was a bit of afters between Mark Thomas.
Niggly around the benches.
It is very much so. Barry Moore this time with Mark Thomas. Coventry chip in as we hit the 12-minute mark. Le Gui, can he get puck possession? He can, and he gives it to Tessier. Tessier, top of the circle, fakes the shot, goes to Ashley Tate. Ashley Tate couldn't just get good wood on it. Tate again with Tessier, gets it to Steve Munn. Munn throws one at the net, rebounds off the skates of Danny Stewart.
Good work by Casey Timmins holding up Tate on that, making a good defensive play. Didn't let Ashley Tate get good wood on the shot.
Ashley Tate fires one, Koenig with the stop. Dan Tessier waits in the face-off circle. He has 11:41 to try and weave some magic to get the Steelers back in this one. Here's Savage, gets it out to Tessier. Still 5-on-5. Puck goes to Tate. Tate tries the shot, but Stewart had got out to him so quickly. And Sheffield have to regroup, chip it in. That man Timmins, KC Timmins. Tessier comes hard at him, but he gets the puck down. Munt gets all the way back, goes behind the goal of Lehman as Stewart comes in, reverses the pass. Sarich cuts it right down the middle to Dan Tessier. Tessier heads up play. Ashley Tate. Le Gui's just in front of Koenig. Here is Le Gui. Gets it back out to Manzano. Manzano takes a shot, just gets deflected off the forechecker. Coventry still can't clear the zone. Manzano with the second bite of the cherry. Pierce tries to clear on his backhand side, and again Manzano just couldn't get the puck in deep. 3-on-2 break for the Coventry Blaze. Stewart, is he going to go out to Barry Moore? He just holds on to the puck now, throws one at the net. Moore got his stick just in front of Thomas, but Ashley Tate gets to the loose puck first. Gives it to the captain, Jonathan Phillips. Phillips only knows one way, all out. Comes with speed, fires it into Koenig's glove, and then follows through on Koenig. Koenig with quick hands had given the puck out to Jonathan Weaver. Weaver red line and in. Lehman comes from behind his goal, forces the puck out. But Sheffield haven't got an easy out, and good work on the boards by Colson. Munn on his backhand, can't quite clear. Calder keeps the puck in. Manzano's now going to have an out, and Manzano skates. But can he get to the red line to get it in deep? No, he can't. He gets robbed by Colson. 3 players come in. Here's Soderstrom. Soderstrom's got Calder on the back door. That would just be simply greedy if he went for a 4th goal. Calder then falls over a loose stick. Koenig's come well out of his goal, and Soderstrom's come all the way back. Felix couldn't quite control. Calder helps it on its way. Into the final 10 minutes of the 3rd period. Sheffield need 3 goals to take this into overtime and keep their title aspirations alive. Munn hits the blue line.
They need 4 to win this in regulation.
I think most people in this building would take 3 in overtime right now, Nick. Kieran Timmins gets it to the red line, chips it in. I think that would be slightly greedy for in 9 minutes. Dejanay, who hasn't stopped working, gets it out to Tessier, to Le Gouy, top of the circle Le Gouy, but then just found on the pass back to Tessier. And the Sheffield Steelers have to regroup and come all the way back. Saric collects, heads up pass to Dan Tessier. Tessier is looking for some options, comes wide out to Saric. Saric will try and force, and he does. Saric is going to be one of those players that has to overcommit in these remaining 9 minutes. Jeff Le Gouy chips into the opposite corner. Tate goes to get there. Stewart got there first. Steelers now with puck possession. There's a man at the back door and they score. It was Le Gouy. And I think it was actually Tate who just threw one out of the corner. Tate and Tessier threw one out of the corner. Hits the back of Koenig. Maybe we've got a hockey game. I look to you, Nick.
I love it. Shoot the puck. You never know. You can even score behind the goal line. And right now, I know it's 5-3 in terms of a score line, but it's 1-1 in terms of goalies wanting one back. So we can say it's even in that department. We can, the puck going down low behind the goal line.
It's Tessier.
Tessier, I imagine he's trying to find Le Gouy out front, but Koenig getting a piece of it and bouncing on behind. Look at Koenig. You can see him moving to his near post just in that shot there, and Tessier just sending it in, and it goes off of Koenig's right leg, inside leg, and as the goalie's spinning, he's making a move out to make sure that he can shut down the
No, it's off Timmins, isn't it? It's off Timmins.
I don't know, the logo is in the way. But,
hey, Dan Tessier won't care. He'll credit that goal. Sheffield have got to just keep the momentum going. Is it going to be Rod Saric? Bounces one off the boards. Tate got there first. Shepard couldn't get to the second boat. Tommy Watkins in a foot race with Steve Munn. Munn commits the body. Carlson comes in, but Sheffield keep up possession. Long shot comes in from Saric. Soderstrom clears through into the neutral zone.
And that's what happens, Dave, when you win the battles on the walls. And, you know, the Sheffield Steelers winning the battle on the far wall, and they get the shot on net. You mentioned the small little battles that you got to win.
Phillips gets it out to Shepard. 2-on-1 here if Saric has got to be good, and Saric has been good. In fact, Saric has been outstanding tonight. Shepard on a pass out to the left-hand side where it's picked up by Tate on his off wing. Steps inside, just tries to get the puck in front of Koenig. Shepard picks up on it. Jonathan Phillips now will start the cycle. Dejanay sags low. Phillips loses out, and it's a 2-on-1 Coventry Blaze break. It's Carlson. It's Barry Moore. He shoots into the body. Good save by Lehman. Great stop by Lehman as Carlson found Barry Moore. Dejanay. Sheffield have to commit. They have to overcommit. Just over 5.5 minutes remain. They trail by 2. Adam Calder. Calder has got a hat-trick tonight in a 5-goal display in almost a title-deciding game. Doesn't get much bigger than that. Here's Tessier. Tessier cuts to the middle. Chance for Tessier. Fires a backhand to Koenig. I don't think the puck got quite through to him. Cloutier will try and clear, but the puck is still deep in the offensive zone for the Steelers. Tessier again tries to feather pass out to Ashley Tate. Intercepted by the Coventry Blaze. Saric again. Tate goes for a change. Tessier chips down behind Koenig's goal. Koenig's come out and on his backhand side will try and rim one. He just bounces over the stick of Jeff Le Gouy, and Adam Calder clears into the neutral zone. Russ Cowley, a battle. What a nice pass by Tessier. Finds Joey Talbot. Joey Talbot from the outside. He can't find Le Gouy. Tessier and Cowley in a little bit of push and shove. Talbot again. Timmins goes across to him. Drop pass. The Steve Munn, sag low. Back out to Le Gouy. Saric is waiting with agoraphobia on the other side. Tessier has it, just spin her arm pass. Money's out there, pushing and shoving. Munner's going to park himself right in front of Trevor Koenig. Here's a chance for the Sheffield Steelers. Saric from outside. But Koenig again sharp. Cloutier comes in on Munn.
Dave, you see how the Coventry Blaze, they've collapsed into their own zone there, but they've played it so smart and kept the Sheffield Steelers to the outside. Guys then start to lose a little bit of patience, and then you have those shots come in where no one's driving into the net. Here's the little melee, but the puck's outside. Coventry, you can see they've kept it out there, and then here's the shot from Saric.
Steve Munn knew as well that he got Le Gui covering him.
Three blue shirts, 3 white shirts, and Trevor Koenig doesn't let rebounds out.
Can the Sheffield Steelers now, as we hit the 4-minute mark? They're putting everything into it. No lack of effort from either side here tonight. Here's Finnerty, who's worked as hard as anybody. Battling low is Ashley Tate's got a chance, just battled and just bobbled across the pad of Trevor Koenig. And that would have made it an interesting last 4 minutes. Here's a chance though for Dan Carlson to finish it. Here's another chance off the crossbar. Danny Stewart looking for his second. Lehman had covered as much of the goal as he could.
I think it may have gone off Lehman's skate than off the crossbar. I'm not sure.
Ashley Tate, the man who lifted the league championship last year, fires one again at Koenig. Koenig's got this, and again doesn't give any form of rebound whatsoever.
So the Sheffield Steelers, so much time and possession in the Coventry zone, in the Coventry's defensive zone, but then look how dangerous Coventry are as they spin things back around the other way. And here's the shot from Stewart. And I think it may have gone off,
it got deflected before it hit the crossbar, didn't it?
Off a Lehman's skate, like I said, and then off the crossbar.
3 minutes 30. 210 seconds, that's all it is. As another shot comes in, this time from Munn. Sheffield getting traffic in front of Koenig in the last few minutes. Sheffield Steelers player goes down. I look to the referee, no penalty call. Barry Moore hits the blue line. Doesn't get it in deep, but gets it in deep enough. Talbot tries to make a pass out to Tessier, intercepted. Sheffield don't need Lehman putting his glove on it, and they're going to just try and keep the play just rolling. Here's Tessier. Tessier's trying to chip out to Talbot. Munn. Red line, blue line, so he shoots and scores! Holy smoke, folks! Get in the fast lane, Grandma. This bingo game's about ready to roll. With just less than 3 minutes remaining, Steve Munn's hammered one past Koenig. It's 5-4.
I suppose that
it ain't over yet, is it?
I suppose that's what you have to do, is mix things up on Coventry. You know, we saw them in the first half of this game pumping up the middle, long shots on Koenig. Then we see them go out wide and drive to the net. And now they've gone back into the middle. They obviously feel like they can beat Koenig on these long shots. It's happened a couple of times, and look at Munn just on a giveaway in the neutral zone. Waits for them to clear the zone, steps over the blue line, gets a big shot away off the inside of the post and beating Koenig low to his glove side.
At 4-1 and at 5-2, who would have believed? Well, the Sheffield Steelers do. Here comes Phillips, here's Tate in front. Big chance out in front. And it was Shepard who got hammered into the back of the net that moved it off its mooring. So Steve Munn gets credited with that one, an absolute bullet from just inside the blue line. And all of a sudden, this whole building has woken up, Nick.
It has, Dave. And, we've seen a game where it hasn't been that physical. There haven't been many mistakes, but we've seen two teams putting things together. There was the turnover in the neutral zone, but here now Sheffield are going wide again, driving to the net. 9-goal flurry, great offensive display. I suppose if you're a defensive coordinator for either one of these two teams, you probably want to cut your wrists right now. But if you're a fan sitting here, fan of ice hockey, then you're sitting on the edge of your seats. We've been treated, Dave.
Sheffield Steelers took the 1-0 advantage, but then 4 without reply for the Coventry Blaze. Looked like it had sewn it up. Sheffield back at 4-2, quick goal 5-2, and then Sheffield hit 2 of their own, 5-3, 5-4. And we've still got 2:37 left. Here's Doug Shepard working hard behind the goal. Tate comes in for moral support. Referee Hicks gets out of the way, has to get out of the way again. Shepard looking for an option, gets it back to Manzano. A little bit of Spanish genius maybe from Manzano, who just sinks it low. Shepard takes a big hit. Phillips helps, it's on its way to Ashley Tate. Gets it back to the point. Shot's going to come in, but it was one that the defenseman Dejanay just couldn't get enough of. Now Cowley comes with speed. Best form of defence is attack. Here's Shepard, fires one. Lehman didn't know too much about it. Rebound fell nicely to Ashley Tate. Here's Dejanay. Dejanay, red line, blue line takes a shot. And all of a sudden, a rebound does appear from Trevor Koenig, but the Blaze clear into the neutral zone. Munn gets it and hammers down behind Koenig's goal. Cloutier with a backhand all the way down. Will icing be called if the Steelers get there first? It will be.
Dave, we said to watch this guy at the beginning of the game. He got 3 goals. Look at that as
That was his first.
that was his first goal, and here's his second drive into the net. Right, goal scorer's goal. And then here's his third, a one-timer from the far side, and that's why Adam Calder, he's going to be our man of the match.
Hey, perfect hat-trick as well. Even-handed power play and short-handed goal for Adam Calder. He is our man of the match. Will Sheffield Steelers pull the goalie? We're inside the last minute. Dan Tessier down low.
Lehman's waiting. He's waiting. He comes off.
Lehman comes to the bench. Sheffield get the extra attacker on.
And now
Coventry break down the left-hand side with Carlson, but they don't find the empty net on the first time. Calder does on the second, tries to find Carlson, who was coming in. Sheffield, though, have got to work hard to get to that loose puck. They've got to cover the goal as well. They do, and it goes through Sarich. And it goes waved off. Is it waved off by... I think it's waved off by referee Michael Hicks.
What's he going to say?
I think he's going to say offside. So Michael Hicks says no goal.
Well, here's the shot coming in. I think off Casey Timmons.
Offside.
The linesman had his glove up. It is offside. No goal.
David Matsos, what runs through his mind? No goalie down to his left-hand side. 6 Steelers, 5 Coventry Blaze players. The Sheffield Steelers 4-1, 5-2 down. They've clawed their way back into this one 5-4. And here it comes. One last rush. One last chance for the Sheffield Steelers. They chip it in behind Koenig's goal. Can they get puck possession? They can't, and the puck's rebound all the way round. Icing waved off. 10 seconds. Sarich, a moment of genius perhaps, takes a long shot, but it bounces and it bobbles. Phillips, chance for Legui, bangs one off the boards. Koenig gets there first. The clock counts down. The Coventry Blaze beat the Sheffield Steelers by 5-4. They say every game is 2 points, but you just get the feeling that this game was for a little bit more than 2 points. And Paul Thompson will be a happy coach. He feels that he will be closer to back-to-back league titles. It's the Blaze 5, the Steelers 4. Reaction to this coming up right after the break. Don't you dare go anywhere.
Welcome back to the BMI Baby Elite Ice Hockey League here on Sky Sports. We're in Sheffield. In the race for the title, the Coventry Blaze have taken a huge step forward and put their noses towards the finish line. Well, it was a shootout here in Sheffield, 9 goals, but Dave, you got to say the Coventry Blaze, they've got one hand on that league title, don't they?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. They came out tonight, and this is the first game they've won in Sheffield this season in 4 games, but it was the important one.
Yeah.
One thing, I didn't think we'd see 9 goals. I thought it'd be a lot tighter tonight, but the Coventry Blaze took advantage of a little bit of sloppy play by Sheffield at times.
Well, of course, you know, in the first 2 periods, it was 2-1 going into the third, and then the shootout started, didn't it?
It did indeed. You know, Sheffield got off to that good start, which is what the Sheffield Steelers would have wanted, but then, you know, Calder came back in with the power play strike and the short-handed goal for 2-1, and then Sheffield really had to commit in that third period, but it was a third period of goals,
Yeah,
and then
goals,
a few more goals.
Let's have a look at those goals in the third period. And
well, straight off the bat, it's early doors, isn't it? And Cloutier, big shot comes in from Calder, rebound, and then I think you thought that came off Sarich's skate, yeah.
But Cloutier driving to the net and making, you know, causing that.
Yeah, and of course you put the kiss of death on the Sheffield Steelers by saying that Cloutier hadn't done a great deal up until then, and then straight off the back.
Unlucky bounce there from Mazzano.
Stewart bats it down out of the air. He goes off the pad of Thomas, and then Stewart goes in alone, and I think that's his first goal for a long time, but
right, yeah.
Took it well.
It was Mazzano giving that puck away, but it wasn't, was it?
No, that's right, yeah. It was so 4-1, and in all fairness, it should have been game over. But Jonathan Phillips drives to the net, and good refereeing for Michael Hicks. We saw in the super slow-mo and the replay that puck did cross the line
said that
in
Sheffield
midair.
had to start driving to the net, and
they did.
They did. And Michael Hicks right on jogging on the spot, and great spot.
There's 28.
For that, and you can see Shepard getting 2 cracks at it and beating Koenig.
Yeah. And, you know, Sheffield had hope there, 4-2. There was, what, 12 or 13 minutes left. You thought Sheffield would then come and perhaps throw the kitchen sink, but right in the very next shift, poor old Jody Lehman, you're going to see...
a few seconds later, you can see that one-timer from
just
Calder. It's hat-trick goal, and Jody Lehman moving laterally across, and just that little bit of the 5-hole is open, and that's all Calder needs.
Yeah, then Tessier, and did that come off Timmins? Did it come? I think it might have come off Timmins. Yeah, it's come off Timmins' skate and just goes through Trevor Koenig. You can see the disappointment of Timmins. And then Steve Munn with an absolute hammer with just a couple of minutes left. And the building believed again here in Sheffield. But it wasn't to be for the Sheffield Steelers, and a championship-winning performance, in my mind, from the Coventry team.
And we did talk about Koenig and letting in that long goal. But this guy, I mean, I know 4 goals he let in, but I mean, for me, he was outstanding. Especially
in the second period when the Sheffield Steelers had the 5-on-4 and the 5-on-3 power play time. Trevor Koenig just came to the front, and he proved that's why he is, you know, one of the league's leading goaltenders. Nick, he was outstanding. He was square on, and he just shut the door on Sheffield. All right. Well, earlier on, you caught up with both head coaches. Here's what they had to say. Paul, they only give you 2 points for a win, but I think you got a bit more than 2 points tonight.
Well, it's a 4-point game, isn't it, Dave? It's a 4-point swing, and. You know, I think we can see the finishing line now. We're, you know, under no illusions, we've still got, you know, 6-7 games to go. And we're playing a lot of good quality teams. But this one tonight was, we can see the finishing line, and we've got to make a sprint for it.
Yeah. Your key players came to the fore tonight. Koenig outstanding, and Adam Calder with 3.
You know, I'm not one of singling out players, but there's not been a better player in my eyes than Adam Calder in this league this year. He's single-handedly has won us games with his big goals, and we do go to him a lot. We really do go to him a lot, and teams know that, and teams try to check against him. But I just think he's been another level, and like I say, he's without doubt my league MVP.
Yeah. Sheffield threw everything at you at the end of the third period. You obviously expected that. We've got to be back to 5-4.
A couple of bounces that, you know, and Sheffield worked for them. They worked for them, but you know, it was a scary time, that last minute coming into the game, and I'm thinking, oh my God, if this goes to over, because we don't want to give a point up, you know, let alone it go into overtime. So it was a frantic last, you know, 3 or 4 minutes in the game. But when 2 good teams are playing each other, that's what happens.
Yeah. People outside Coventry are going to say that's it now, game, set and match. What's the view inside Coventry?
No, we've got games to go. You know, we've got games to go to hopefully bring back the title. And you know, David, been around a long time, and we've been in these positions before, and the last thing we ever talk about is winning something before you actually get you in a position to do that. And we know we keep to our 7-game block and our points to that 7-game block, and we've got our last game of game 7 in Manchester on Saturday.
Obviously disappointed, Dave, but your verdict on that?
Disappointed, yeah. I mean, we came in tonight in our rink, get 2 points and keep the pressure on. You know, a strange game from the bench, to be honest. I don't think anybody would have thought in a game of this magnitude that there would have been 9 goals scored. You know, not really like the characteristic of each team of either. But you know, I thought we were going to come back in it. Certainly, I know there's a few goals that we wish we could have back. There's a couple of ugly bounces, but hey, it's the nature of the game. You know, this Coventry team's been on their game all year, and you know, in fairness to these guys in our room, they've done well. They've been very, very consistent and put themselves in a position to win it. And you know, it's in theory it's not done yet. We're just going to come back, keep working hard, and you know, roll.
Okay, Coventry obviously a quality team, but did you feel you just gave them too much tonight?
Yeah. I thought tonight they were the better team, just getting a loose pucks, you know, little battles, foot races, and stuff like that. And for us, I mean, that's our game. So they got the better of us tonight when they shouldn't have, and you know, I think that was probably the end result.
And there's one other game tonight, and it was in Hull. Hull beating the Basingstoke Bison 4-3.
And that's a shock, really, because I thought Basingstoke would win in Hull and then leapfrog above the Edinburgh Capitals, but those two just can't be separated right now. That's going to go down to the very final game of the year, you know.
Yeah.
That's Sunday, last Sunday.
Do you think Coventry are looking at Edinburgh and thinking, oh dear, I don't want that as a matchup?
Well, you know what, they've lost 3 times to the Edinburgh Capitals this year. But you know what, I think Paul Thompson will be quite happy with Edinburgh Basingstoke. He won't care.
Right, okay.
He's a first-place team.
Yeah.
They're not going to care.
No one's going to care.
Exactly.
Dave, again, I mean, you know, you've talked about the Coventry Blaze all season, and now, you know, you've said way before Christmas that they've won this league. do you think now it's all there?
I told you in the second week in November, because I just couldn't see them losing 6 or 7 more games than the chasing teams, whether it be Nottingham, Belfast or Sheffield.
Yeah.
And even tonight, Sheffield were 4 points down, a game in hand going into tonight. It was always an uphill battle. A lot of people here believed, but you know, Coventry have been the best team all year. But Sheffield have gone from a 6th place team to a 4th place club to this year to a 2nd place.
Of course, the
team.
Challenge Cup has already been won, but we still have 3 more pieces of silverware up for grabs, and it comes to you with the British Knockout Cup, and that will be our next game coming your way here on Sky Sports. Will be the British Knockout Cup first leg, the Basingstoke Bison against the Coventry Blaze on Sky Sports 3, Friday the 14th of March. That'll be a good one, eh?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And I think Coventry now, having pretty much got the league wrapped up tonight, I just think that Coventry will perhaps take that Knockout Cup a little bit more seriously. And
well, you know, silverware is silverware. You got to fill the cabinet.
Exactly, but it's a chance for the Basingstoke Bison. You know, not one of the glamour clubs, if you like, and especially down in their rink, we know how hard it is down there.
All right, buddy. Got him back.
Okay. Always glad to have you back, Nick. Missed you.
All right, folks. Well, thanks ever so much for joining us here on Sky Sports, where the Sheffield Steelers have lost to the Coventry Blaze 5-4 in the House of Steel. We'll see you next time here on Sky Sports.